Hello and welcome to this Call the Shots Director's Cut. My name is Mike, I'm from Jellyfielders, and I'm joined today by Liz Hamlet. Hello, Liz.
Hi, morning. How are we all?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Yeah.
Excellent. So without further ado, if you could tell the audience who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Liz Hamlet. I'm Director of Spark Succeed Coaching and Consulting. I'm a life coach and I'm also a professional organiser, so I can declutter your mind and your home and home office. Just a bit about Spark Succeed. So we offer one-to-one coaching, corporate coaching, so that could be one-to-one or group sessions for you and your team. And also are currently offering virtual home organisation consults, so help to get motivated to tackle that clutter nightmare in your home, whether that's your wardrobe or desk, home office.
You'll probably notice that the camera here is strategically positioned as not to let too much in of the surrounding environment.
Yeah.
The wardrobe and various other things knocking around.
I'll have a chat to you later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go offline and have that conversation. Obviously, there's lots of strings to your proverbial bow. Of all the work you do, what is the work that makes you most proud?
I think the most proud is I'm in such a privileged position to be able to support people to make really important decisions in their life, and also to get through challenging times. Obviously, currently there's a lot of new challenge and different challenges, so I feel really privileged that I'm able to support my clients through that, or to make important decisions. Often they know what decision they need to make or want to make, but it's really the fear that's holding them back. So I can work with them to try and break down that and move beyond. And often the fear is much worse than actually taking that bold step and setting off onto new horizons. So really, being in the privileged position there. There's a good quote that I really like from Tom Landry, which is a coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be the you that you've always known you could be. And I really like that, because often you really know what the challenge areas are, but you need someone external to help pull you through those.
Have you had experience yourself in life of overcoming barriers and challenges and kind of internal things holding you back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've moved country, so I lived in Italy as well. So that was sort of new challenges, getting used to a new culture. I was quite young at the time at university, so I think definitely that. I've also changed industries a few times, so determined to sort of get to know all the new skills and different organisational cultures that there were. I've worked in the investment banking, housing, travel, so sort of quite diverse areas. And I think also in my personal life, where there's been perhaps health issues or challenges that might have stopped me from achieving things at the time, that I've stepped forward and overcome that. I've always been the one in my friends that people come to chat through perhaps issues or challenges, and it's just an area of work that I just love, and I just feel that it's fantastic that I'm able to do that for my work.
So some sort of natural ability to respond to people when they have issues and offer advice, or just be a kind of sounding board where they can bounce their own kind of processes off.
Definitely. And often it's about reflecting back what they've said. People might describe their situation in a certain way, and there's things that come through as an independent, separate person that you'll pick up. And having someone reflect back what you've they've been saying to you often helps them to see things a bit clearer.
There's a perspective you get from talking about your issues with other people that you don't get when you keep them inside. They just bounce off and reflect inside you.
Sometimes talking to people that you're within your family, or people that are very close to you, they'll have sort of either views, or they'll sort of perhaps be maybe tiptoe around the issue slightly, or maybe not, depending on the family or friends. But I think having someone totally separate that has no emotional connection with that situation is really key to helping you move forward.
Well, it goes back to the Tom Landry quote, doesn't it? A coach is only tell you what you don't want to hear.
Yes, in a nice way.
Yeah, because I guess it's not about judgment really end of the day, is it? We all have issues where we hold ourselves back, and when you can understand it, get the perspective that whilst your experiences are personal, individual, the feeling of resistance is universal to most people, just for different reasons.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess in your career that can be a big barrier to making change and progressing forward. What advice, what top tip would you give for somebody who comes to you for your expertise?
I'd say that my top tip is that the only time that you've got is now. Too often we put off action or, moving forward in life. Don't do that because there's no tomorrow. We're not sure, what's going to happen in the future. So take action now and make sure that's sort of something real, steps you can move forward today. I work with a lot of people that perhaps are finding it difficult to step beyond that fear of taking the forward motion, or perhaps they just know what they need to do but they're really struggling to just get going, procrastinating, I'll do it tomorrow, putting things off. So I would say just get going, just do it, and really don't put off action.
Is there a tip you have for overcoming procrastination?
I've got some very good tips actually. I've recently been doing some videos on tips for like 3 top tips for procrastinators and 3 tips for getting motivated. So I'll make sure I can put some links in when we post this video. But I guess there's some really good ones. So 5 minutes, you can do anything for 5 minutes. So just set your timer, get going, and just focus for 5 minutes on something. Often we'll find that after that 5 minutes, you're sort of in a flow, and you can continue doing that. If you sort of only set yourself a limit of that 5 minutes. The other thing is a power hour. So you can set yourself a block of time where you get rid of all distractions and just divide that time into 20-minute max blocks with some couple of minutes break in between, and just really focus for that time. And finally, my favourite is pick yourself a power song. So everyone's got that one song that maybe gets them up on the dance floor, really makes you feel like charged and energized. So use that when you need to get going on a task. So play that, it might be Rocky, it might be Queen, that sort of high octane that gets you in that energized state. Play that when you need to get started on something. I'm sure you've already thinking of your power song.
Well, more the point, I'm curious as to what your power song is.
I think it would be something from Queen, probably.
Yeah. Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Killer Queen.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. I guess it's getting yourself into that mindset. And like you say, if you set yourself that 5-minute limit to kind of trick yourself into starting something at least, then before you know it, it might be 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour that's gone by.
Yeah. And I think, if you've got that whole day ahead of you, when you've got like a long task, it just seems like never ending. And that's when you will start to put things off or do those little tasks that are easy, quick wins at the start of the day. And then before you know it, it's 2 o'clock and most of your day's gone.
Yeah.
So and keep that power song playing in the background as well for when you need to get going.
I know I'm guilty of making a task last the time that's available for it to fit in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work around procrastination recently, and I think because we're perhaps in our normal working day, there's a lot of changes. You might be going out and meeting clients, or going for lunch, or leaving the house. I think that has become more difficult to just get motivated at the moment. I think people are finding what I call their lockdown lull, when they're sort of having that lower energy on certain days. So I think sort of the motivation point is key, and using some of those tips and tricks.
Perhaps it's also important to listen to your body in that way. If you literally cannot get started with something, if you're feeling that resistance, sometimes maybe it is best to put it away, do something else, go and have your allotted exercise moments, clear your mind and think about something else. Because I think a lot of the time we ignore what our body is saying. We ignore if we're hungry, we ignore if we're tired, and try and work through that. When in reality, you're just fighting a losing battle against physiology and your state of mind.
Totally. And I think, you know, giving yourself rewards as well. So setting that, you know, if I get this done, then the rewards, you know, might be, you know, I don't know, chocolate, or at the end of the day, a nice glass of wine, or, you know, a bottle of beer, or, you know, relaxing yoga or games. I think it's important to sort of make sure you sort of set yourself little mini targets as well. So it's not just a big, long expanse of a week to get things done.
And so, especially in these times as well, when it feels like we've got nothing but time, all the more important to kind of take control of it and realize that time is now yours to bend to your will. And if your working pattern isn't a 9 to 5 normally, maybe it's time shifted a few hours ahead. Maybe there's longer breaks, and you can maybe work later in the night than you would do if you had to get up in the morning and have a commute.
Yeah, I think what you say is exactly right, is sort of making the use of your best time. You might be sort of an early bird where you're really motivated or quite creative in the morning, and then you get that lull of energy in the afternoon. You know, actually factoring that in when you're planning your day. So getting those things that need that creativity or focus during that time when you've got more energy, and those sort of more mundane tasks that you can complete, you know, perhaps going through your emails, or, you know, something else in the afternoon when you've got less energy, or vice versa. Obviously, some people work better in the afternoon. So really understanding the cadences of your body and making best use of the energy you've got.
Plan yourself that post-lunch nap. Factor it in, and you don't feel bad for having that snooze after you've eaten. I mean, that's working for me, at least. I can, from personal experience. How can people find out more about you and support you during these times?
Yeah, so on our website is www.sparksucceed.co.uk. If you want to hop on and book a free consultation, you can have book in 20 minutes where you can talk about your needs and see how I can help you. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can join our community, which is Tribe Spark Succeed. I'd love to invite you to be part of that. And also any businesses, if there's, I've been doing a lot of collaborations recently, podcasts, articles, you know, contributing author slots, video interviews like this, the best one, obviously. So if there's any opportunity to collaborate together, you know, perhaps that's a webinar or, you know, Instagram live, I'd love to hear from you. So you can get in touch through the website, or I'll make sure that we post my contact details on this.
Oh yeah, all the links will be available in the description of the video. The Facebook group, is that like a support network? Is it people sharing ideas?
Yeah, it's a sort of definitely a sort of learning opportunity. So there's lots of tips and tricks. There's going to be live feeds from me on subjects that are important. Might be productivity. I've been doing a lot on energy, on just getting motivated to get going, as we've been talking today. And also opportunity to meet like-minded people who really, you know, focused on their development as well. So there's also a sort of career and sort of development element of it as well.
Now, I've noticed that joining a lot of even just small business groups on Facebook is a great way to kind of make it a semi-productive experience as well. Because obviously you can just get drawn into the usual feed of politics and gossip and nonsense and social media, but when you join a group that is focused on outcomes and change development and business activities, it really kind of puts you in a good mindset as well. So whilst you might be having 5 minutes off of work and you might be scrolling through social media, if there's something relative to positivity and change and growth in that respect, then it kind of seeds the ideas into you kind of subliminally almost.
Yeah, and I make sure there's a lot of tips and tricks videos, like the 3 tips for getting motivated, tips for procrastinators, and I make sure these are nice and snappy, so they're just like 1 to 2 minutes, just with really actionable advice in there. So yeah, if you feeling a bit of the lockdown lull and you want to get motivated, then head over to Tribe Spark Succeed on Facebook.
You're following the mantra of our ice cream model of video marketing. You're having the resource active edits. So fully endorse that. And yeah, I urge people to go and check those out.
Well, I've learned from the best.
Well, what can I say? On that point, that makes me look good as well. I say thank you for joining us on this chat today. Again, we'll share all the links to all your different outlets in the comments. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been great to be part of this.